Hello. I hope you can hear me. I'm not sure. I'm always having computer problems. Can you hear me now, Nay? Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Can anybody hear me? Okay, sounds fine. Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Erica. Appreciate you. All right, there you go. All right. Hi, everyone. Hi, 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 hi. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you are having a wonderful Wednesday, May the 8th. So, y'all see the title. I'm going to keep it really not necessarily short, but definitely sweet. I do need to make a couple of people some moderators in the chat because I do not want any problems, really. I think I'm in the wrong account to make a moderator, am I? I gotta be in the wrong account to make a moderator. Darn it. So wrong. All right, so here's what I'll do. I can't make y'all a moderator right now. So for me to look in the chat, I'm actually looking on my other account, right? So I can't make you a moderator. However, I will like people to please remain professional, remain courteous, be polite to each other as much as possible. This is not censoring anyone for them not to speak their mind. However, I have already set the live to not to tolerate any certain words, meaning slang. No bitch, no HOE, no threats, no nothing. Nothing like that. So any threats, curse words, derogatory words, any word that will affect any protected groups, none of that. Yes, nay, damn it, yes. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, but this is not that type of party. Okay, definitely not that type of party. Yes, Erica. Yes, exactly. Keep it cute or keep it mute. I love it. That's a good saying. All right. So as y'all see with the title, my title is a conversation that needs to happen. And I am reaching out to Queen Cascade. The reason why I'm reaching out to Queen Cascade is because I know that everybody's been keeping up with everything that's been going on in YouTube pertaining to my past relationship and also my formal friendships. All right. It has not been pretty. It's definitely has been a very difficult time for me. But one thing I have been doing is listening. I've been listening. I've been taking in all types of statements and advice, literally hostility, anger, frustration, assumptions, allegations, everything under the sun. I have been taking it in. And the one person I have not necessarily had a conversation with about everything that has transpired is Mrs. Soul Charger. Most of the time, when Mrs. Soul Charger comes on, I don't necessarily get to see her live or hear her speak or hear her statement or comment. But I do, however, want to have a conversation with her due to the simple fact is that she was the last person out of my former friend group to actually reach out to me with compassion. And at that time, I was not in the right mindset to be open to hear what she may have had to say. So I want to give her the opportunity to say that now, if she's available. And we just have a conversation about the things that's going on. I also want to make sure that I also set the record straight on a couple of things. A lot of people is under the assumption that I didn't give one rat's ass about my friendship with said ladies. And I'll tell you straight up that that is the honest to God not true. I cared very much about these ladies. I actually did love these ladies very, very much. A lot of people will give advice saying that these relationships that you formed online was not real. You didn't really know them. You really don't know who they are. And everybody puts their best foot forward. And I don't really believe that. I think that we did share something very real and unique at that particular time. And that time is over. I also want to say as well that there is a rumor going on that I am still with Mr. Long, Daryl Long. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say this, but I'm not with Daryl Long anymore. I broke up with him when he had that horrible altercation with said ladies. But what I don't know is that even though I broke up with him, at that particular time, I was able to put myself aside. I was actually called on to put myself and how I felt aside and to try to help this individual correct the wrong that he felt very bad about right after him saying it. And if anybody knows my character, I don't shun away from helping people. Even if that person harms me, even if that person betrays me, even if that person violates me, if someone asks me for help, the person that I am, I'm willing to put my feelings aside and try to help as much as possible. Now I know that's wrong. I know that now. I'm also going to tell you something too. A lot of people think that when you're in a relationship with someone and the relationship is over, most of the time we hear people talking about how horrible the breakup is, right? They talk about this person hates your guts, this person did this person broke your car, window, door. You know what I'm saying? Like we literally had we had celebrities who wrote songs about it, right? Wasn't that what Lemonade was about? Wasn't that what what is it, Jasmine Sullivan song? I bust the windows out your car. We have so many songs that tell you that some relationships really have a turmoil breakup. I'm just going to let you know that that's not my history. That never been my history with any man I dated. I have always had a cordial relationship with any ex that I have had. I don't know. Maybe it's because most of my relationships started from friendships. That's why, or whatever. All I know is I never had a turmoil relationship where I'm dragging this person and they're dragging me. And I think one of the reasons why is because in the beginning of any forming of relationships and getting connections, I have always stated in the beginning, hey, listen, if we're going to, hi, Queen. Hi, thank you so much for coming, Queen. I'm going to send a link, okay? It's just going to be me and you, no one else. I have already instructed the chat that there is no potty mouth going on. This is not that type of party. I just want to speak with you. Let me give you the link. But what I was saying, well, until she gets here. Yeah, so, okay. It's just I want to have a conversation with you. It's not no setup or anything like that. None of that. I just want to have a conversation with you, Queen. If you're willing to have a conversation with me, that's all I would like. I haven't had a conversation with you. And I also know that you were the last person who tried to reach out to me. And I didn't respond because I wasn't in the right mental state to respond to anyone at that time. So even though you was reaching out, I could not reach out to you. I was not emotionally capable. And I have heard of some of your statements that you have said or expressed on other people's platforms, and I would just want to have an actual conversation with you. I have had a conversation with the other ladies. They went however they went, but I would like to have a conversation with you. So if you're willing to come up, please come up. I'll just I'll see if I can add it again because I don't even see the hyperlink. Why is the hyperlink even popping up though? Like that's just so weird. I hope that works. I hope that works. Yeah. All right, and I'm gonna say this. There's a lot of other things I want to say, but I do want to have a conversation with Queen, so I don't want to really get too ahead of myself. But I'm gonna say this, and this is just as a collective. As a collective of women, as a collective of sisterhood, I'm going to tell you, this is a big L. This is a big L for us. Is it not working? Is the link not working? My screen is blurry too? Oh my God, hold on. Why is it blurry? I put the link in the chat. Is it not working? Can anybody hit the link? Oh my dear God. I keep on putting the link in the chat. Is it not working? Why is it not working? This is so weird. Okay, hold on a second. Let me try again. Do y'all not see the link? Is it not showing? All right, let's see. Let's see if I hold on one second. This is so weird. Give me a second, guys. I don't know why the link is not showing up. It's like so annoying right now. Let's see. Hmm. Okay, y'all don't see a link. Okay, I keep on putting it in there and it's not coming in. Give me 1 second, guys. See if I can fix that. Okay. So maybe this might work now. Maybe this might work. I might be in luck now. Okay. Okay, there we go. Yes, finally. Jesus. Woo. All right. Okay, so finally I got the link, so that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing. All right, so what was I saying? What was the other thing I was saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about, the sisterhood, right? This was the big L for the sisterhood. Was the big L for just women in general, right? Especially in this space. I know that everybody think that, oh, well, it's not me, doesn't matter. Some people like, oh, well, you got what you deserve, right? And some people's like, well, I don't give a fuck, right? And that's all fun and dandy until someone else takes your place. Until it becomes another cautionary tale within the space. I guarantee you, I'll let you know that I definitely learned a lot from this situation. I learned a lot. Some good, some bad, but definitely learned a lot. And it didn't really look good on us. It didn't look good at all, really. It kind of brought back to me the way how these men in these spaces used to, and some still do, used to call us hyenas. And I always wonder why they used to say that about us. I used to say, why do they call us hyenas? Are they talking about our looks? What is it? Well, after this past week, I now understand why they say things like that about us. Because when we attack, okay, sure, no problem. Thank you, Queen. When we attack in a pack, right? And it's literally like hyena eating food. It's like when someone is literally down and they're bleeding and out, they're already bleeding out, you're still gnawing and gnawing and gnawing at the bone. You're at the point, you're at the gristle. Hey, Jalen. Hey, love. Hey, how you doing? Okay, I think now I should be able to give moderators. I think so. Yeah, I can do it now. Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. All right. People are getting their wrenches. All right. Like I said, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, everyone who's coming. on this beautiful Wednesday. I hope it is sunny and beautiful and nice in your area. I really do. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. But yeah, I don't, like I said, I understand why they literally called us that now. It never had anything to do with our looks. It really never had anything to do with our looks. It was literally about how we approach certain situations. And this is just, like I said, this is not a critique. This is just how I see it. This is just exactly how I see it. Oh, she's here. Okay, awesome, awesome. There we go. Hello, can you hear me? Oh, your audio. Are your audio connected? Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Hey, MJ.
Hi, Queen. I just want to say thank you for coming. I know this is not usually your normal time, but thank you for coming. I wanted to speak to you because, like I said, I have spoken to some of the girls. I'm sure you have seen, I'm sure you have heard. They have their own colorful way of talking to me. So,
Before, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
yeah.
Before we, before you listen, literally, I've gone to the computer to go and shut it down,
Mm-hmm.
and I've refreshed the screen,
Mm-hmm.
and your thumbnail popped up on my home screen. So I don't know what this is about. I've just literally coming here. I don't know what I'm stepping into. So
Oh,
I just want to let
okay.
you know that.
Okay. Cool. So, okay, so you didn't see the first half where I just said that the screen is that I wanted to have a conversation with you about the things that's been happening over the course of, let's say, 3 weeks. I was explaining to some of the people in the chat that I haven't spoke to some of the ladies and they have their own colorful way of expressing themselves, but I have yet to actually speak to you. And I do know that you were the last one to try to reach out to me on Discord, but I wasn't in the right mindset to even speak to anyone at that time. So I did get your message, but I really couldn't speak to anyone. I really couldn't. The way how I was feeling. So now I'm more in a, I guess, more open to have conversation type of space. And I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. If you're okay with it. Because like I said, if you're not okay with it, then that's fine.
I don't know what's going on with you, MJ. And I want to be able to have a really honest conversation. At the
Okay.
same at the same time, I'm like how many weeks behind with certain things because I haven't seen seriously, MJ, everything that's been going on in these YouTube streets.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I haven't even got to the stream where Goat was. I shouldn't even call him Goat anymore. Taz was cussing us out and calling us bitches nose and whatever else happened in that stream. That's how far I'm behind on certain things. So, like, for me, this is really, really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really difficult. And I want to take your thoughts and feelings and everything else into consideration. I know that you've done this live. I know, like, the things, like, I want to be able to have a really, really honest conversation with you, sis. I don't know if you consider me that or a friend or whatever it is at this point with everything that's been going on. And I really don't care what other people have to say in regards to me or the other ladies around me. And I want to be able to have a really, really honest conversation with you. But I don't know where your headspace is presently to be able to do that. And then everything else that gets involved with people's reputations and egos and like our
I
friendship
understand.
outside of these YouTube streets and the things that you've confided in me and stuff. And then
Mm-hmm.
the other things that I'm hearing. So I'm like, I'll be honest, there's part of me that is a little bit defensive because of
Mm-hmm.
everything that's been going on and the positions that I've been put in around this situation when all I've ever tried to do, MJ, is help you and help the other ladies. So I will admit I'm emotional right now. I
I
wasn't
understand.
expecting this. I haven't expected half of the things that have taken place over these last few weeks to happen. So I want to be open to listening to you and what you have to say. Okay.
Okay. Okay, cool. So I'm having this very open conversation with you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm at the point where I feel very hurt and very betrayed. All right. I have my reasons. I felt that any disagreements or grievances that we had, the amount of years that all of us as ladies shared with each other should have warranted some type of, I guess, in-house cleaning as per se, right? I think that the way that the other ladies have decided to express their grievances did more harm than it actually did good. This situation has spread over to a sector that had no business even being a part of it, especially when I was already dealing with a particular scandal by myself at that time that didn't include any of you ladies. I think that there's a misunderstanding that the ladies, also yourself, believe that I have put y'all in a position of danger per se, or even feeling bamboozled, when in fact a lot of the things that I did was off of the strength of your protection. And I think that that's where that level or that extra level of hurt comes from, because there was so many things that I wasn't only thinking about myself, right? I wasn't just being fully selfish. And I felt that me and you, and even though I cared and I loved for all the other ladies, me and you had the closest relationship, because I actually came to see you. I actually flew thousands of miles to come and see you. And I felt that I was literally left alone. And I also felt that because you wanted to be fair to the other ladies' grievances about me, you allowed them to express themselves the way that they wanted to. And then to add insult to injury, you try to come back and be a confidant when I have already felt that that trust was broken, because a lot of the stuff that we talked about, some of the stuff we had group chats with. We only had 2 group chats, 2 group calls that I remember, one in December and one in February, the beginning of February. And those were, the first one in December was, y'all was expressing to me and Tequila, y'all distaste in our choosing of our mates.
I'd like you to pause for me a minute because you're getting too ahead of yourself. And you know how sometimes with my brain, or if you're not aware, when I get emotional or upset, sometimes it can freeze.
Mhm.
So I want you to go back because
Where do you need me to go back at?
before this section, you're talking about in regards to listening to everybody, and I think you were saying about trying to take everything into consideration, and something in regards to um, I think it might have
I
been
know
not
what you're
being
talking
heard.
about. I know what you're talking about. Okay, so I was talking about in reference to the first live streams that was done with Raw Talk and Angelica on April the 8th and April the 9th.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd prefer it if we could just go through point by point because
Yeah, sure. Okay, so on April the 8th, we'll start with April 8th. So on April 8th, it was kind of late at night, and I stumbled on Raw Talk's live stream. When I joined in, I didn't necessarily know what it was about, right? I seen that Truth was there, Angelica was there, and I think it was Tiki. I'm not sure. I think it was Tiki. I know it was one person, other person there, and then Tequila ended up joining. So, at that time, I didn't know that that live stream was already 6 hours long, where I guess they was having a conversation with True. They was expressing themselves about how they feel about me, or I guess the things that I was doing that wasn't leading up to what they were learning in the Discord. And I jumped up there because some of the things that was being said from Truth and Tequila was, to me, it was not all the truth. It was a little disingenuous. So when I got up there, I'm speaking to all the ladies. I'm also speaking to Tequila. Truth didn't say anything, but I'm speaking to Tequila and I'm trying to let her know, you know, this happened. Remember when this happened? Remember when we had this conversation? Remember all the times that we had direct messages where we was explaining, I was literally explaining if this said person, the person that I was dating with is doing this, I'm sorry that's happening, says I'm literally talking to him and I'm telling him not to do that. And I'm also explaining to her too, but sis, I'm seeing you and your mate in chats, literally chats where I am being bullied. They're taking my photos and taking my videos and making content. And I'm seeing you there. So it was hurtful to me. And I don't think that Tequila at that time realized how hurtful it is for me that I see you in these chats. You're not defending me. I don't see you necessarily saying anything bad, but you're not defending me. I seen Truth saying things bad, but we know Truth called women bitches and all that stuff. But I didn't see Tequila saying anything bad, but I see googly eyes, but you're not defending me in the chat. But you're coming to me directly. You're coming to me directly and telling me that your boyfriend needs to stop calling me this. Your boyfriend needs to stop calling me that.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you. And usually, when it comes to listening to people and stuff, I like to be able to hear them out.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I want us to go backwards in time with this conversation, MJ,
Hmm.
because before everything imploded, okay, for all those of you that don't know out there, I've been dealing with a health scare. And part of that health scare, MJ was aware of, okay?
Hmm.
And at the same time, you were very, very supportive to me in regards to what I was going through and in
Absolutely.
regards to what I was dealing with. And I will
Yes.
give you that within our friendship, okay?
Hmm.
Everybody else can say what they want to say about our friendship or whatever it is that it is no form of friendship, because I don't know what this is at this point, MJ.
Okay.
And I have valued our friendship for years. And this is
I have
part of the
too.
reason why my heart is broken over this, because I understand that our friendship was different. You've been there for me over the years. I've been there for you. And when you said you were coming over here, I was so excited. And I'm glad that you came to see me. I'm glad that I got to meet you in person. I'm glad that I got to spend time with you. At the same time,
I mean, I don't regret it either. So go ahead. I don't regret it.
MJ, I've known you for more than 5 years,
I know.
and I've always considered you a friend.
I considered you my sister. I used to call you my sister over the pond. We spent so many times together. Remember the first time when I broke up with Daryl? Who did I tell? You. You knew. And what did you do? You stayed on the phone with me for hours when I went walking for 8 miles and 10 miles in the morning.
Sis, let me go back because you have to understand something from my point of view, sis.
I understand. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I've known you to be a certain way for this past 5 years plus, going into, I don't know, at this point with time. You know there was shifts and moves going on in these YouTube streets.
I didn't know there was, yeah, you have warned me about shifts and moves.
Before your relationship with Long, there was one MJ that I knew that was consistent in everything else, that I could rely on, that nobody could tell me nothing about because of our friendship and what we stood on, and the woman that I've come to know in the front as well as the back, and
Mm-hmm.
sharing your family with me.
Mm-hmm.
And these other ladies, I honestly and seriously felt honored because I know how things are in these YouTube streets. You interrupted me when I said about a friend. I didn't get to the other thing about actually being a sister, and actually you and some of the other ladies becoming part of what I consider to be family. And that's something really, really deep for me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from my perspective, when you got into that relationship, things started to shift and change. And just in regards to any other sort of like sister and stuff like that, I expect there's gonna be shifts and changes. But MJ, there was a whole heap of things that happened in that. And I know, like, I don't know, for whatever reason in your head, you feel like, or from what I understand, you feel like that I've shared a whole heap of private stuff with the other ladies in the group. And I've never done that to you. The private things that you've shared with me in our private conversations, I've never shared those things with anybody. So I resent part of the implications of the things that I'm hearing in people saying that the conversations that I had privately with you, that I was sharing all that information with the ladies, because the ladies and other people still don't know what I know because I haven't shared those things. There's other things that have come out in other ways that I never spoke to the ladies about. that they were aware of in different ways. And other people have been speaking in these YouTube streets on other things in regards to you, in regards to other things that they'd heard that I'd never spoken about. So understand, sis, I valued, and there's part of me, because of everything that's going on, I put myself on a, because I didn't know what was going on with you. Your behavior has changed in the way that you deal with me, that you deal with the sisters, that you deal with the women. In regards to him, I wanted to be happy for you, and I was happy for you because I thought that it was something that would make you happy. You know me well enough to know that half of these things that people are saying about me in these YouTube streets are not true. That when it comes to relationships, that I would like the ladies to heal, to care about themselves, to build their self-esteem and their confidence, and put themselves in the best position possible to get a great relationship. And I wanted the same thing for you, sis.
Okay.
I know that within the Discord, there's been miscommunications. It's difficult as a friend and as a quote unquote Discord server owner because you're trying to manage different things. You're trying to manage different people, you're managing groups of people, and trying to manage people's relationships. So, beginning of the year, y'all knew that I had to take a step back because of my health. But more than anybody else in the Discord and stuff like that, and some of the other ladies, you and a couple of the people were the first to be aware of my health scare, And I confided that in you and other personal things in regards to my circumstances. And I thank you for your support and your help and advice. I'm not going to pretend trying to manage everybody's relationships as sisters is easy. But you know, up until things imploded on the other side of the space, there's been harmony for the most part. There's been peace. So in regards to the relationship with you and Long and you and Tequila and Truth, do you know what I mean? I can see, okay, at different levels of things that there's been miscommunications. That's why at different points in time, I'd have a quiet word here and there, sometimes a word in your ear, sometimes a word in whoever else's ear, and say, look, sometimes messages get perceived the wrong way. Get on a video call, get on a voice conversation, have the conversation, because you're sisters, and sometimes sisters irritate each other. And sometimes all it takes is a quick call to be able to resolve things. You know that in the last how many months since your shift into quote unquote Simp Nation and everything that's been going on in the other side of the space, that I had done nothing but try to be supportive. But at the same time, sis, you know me. You know about my ideologies and the things that I stand on when it comes to provision and protection, when it comes to children. That although that is something that is taken for joke in these YouTube streets, that is something that I actually stand on in real life. So you knew that I had concerns about what was going on over there. Before everybody else, you were aware. And I was led to believe by other people that it was cool over there, that my gut instinct was wrong, that my gut instinct about what I was feeling in regards to things around me were wrong. And some other people, and including you, told me that place was safe, that I didn't have anything to worry in regards to this dude, that him and the other people, you know, things get taken the wrong way, and how he's basically like the victim in some of these situations, that his quote unquote a good guy and all these kind of things.
Mm,
So some of you and other people gave me a false perception, and y'all might not have tried to intentionally do that because
mm.
other people's perceptions also, because of how narcissistic he is and the other things he's got going on, might have been taken in too. So I was reliant on some of y'all that watch out for me and watch other spaces in these YouTube streets that are focused on when some of y'all were reporting back to me about different things that were going on in different parts of the YouTube streets. But you really knew my feelings in regards to what was going on over there. And that dude, you knew because I said to you, if this dude is degenerate and I find out and is in my periphery and he becomes an issue, then you know what I stand on. He doesn't get bypassed if he's doing degenerate things that affect Black women and Black children because of what I believe in. We had that conversation. We had that conversation, if you really,
So
really want to be honest.
let me just
And
jump
you
in a
said
little
to
bit,
me,
Daryl. Sorry. Let me just jump in a little bit. I didn't mean to say Daryl, Mr. Long. Um, I want to jump in on that. Okay, so yes, we did have that conversation before, and I did know your standpoint, and I also had the standpoint from all the other ladies when we did have the group chat in December, right? They
no,
let him
I'm
in.
talking about way back. I'm
Well,
talking about way back before December.
well,
I'm
I
not talking
know.
about the conversations that I had with the ladies. I'm talking about the conversations that you and me had before it even got to the ladies.
Yeah, I mean that was back in November, right? So here's the thing. So I've been made aware that you've been researching or doing some form of intel on Mr. Long for over a year. Is that right?
No, MJ.
Okay.
Look, I feel like you're asking me about intel. Now, I know, MJ, there's a very, very smart side of you and intelligent side of you when it comes to military and all those kind of things. I asked you certain questions in regards to Long and his platform and the things that he was doing over there. And you assured me that he was a good person as well as some other people in regards to that platform when it came to it actually being a good space for Black women. So I don't know where this is going, but before November, me and you had conversation long before that, long before you and him got into a relationship because of overall our concerns about these different platforms in these YouTube streets popping up in regards to Black femicide and the other things that we'd seen generally over these last few years when it came to all these new platforms that made those claims that they were here for Black women, that they were going to do the right things, that they were going to be community based, solution based, and all those kind of things. So, this whole quote unquote intel, I don't know where you're going with that.
Well,
And
this
at
is
this
what
point, sis,
somebody
hold on a
said.
second. Hold on a
Wait, wait,
second.
wait, wait, Queen, let me just finish, please. Somebody said that I guess you was on Raw Talk Culture's live stream yesterday. And they said that you said that you was aware of Mr. Long for a year.
Well, at this point now, because we're in May and we're going into June,
Okay, so
everything.
you was known of him since June of like May or June of last year.
Listen, I feel like right now that you're trying to do some interrogation questioning on me, and I'm not sure if that's your intention because I know you like
No,
to be. I know you
I'm
like
not
to be.
interrogating you.
Oh,
This is
hold
not an
on.
interrogation. This is
Oh,
not
hold
interrogation.
on.
We're just having a conversation.
I know you like to be clear and concise. Okay. So let me explain something for other people that may not be aware. And
Okay,
you, if you
sure.
don't remember, because it's only up until the last few weeks that this stuff has popped off that I've been having flashbacks about how I came into contact with this dude. Now,
Okay.
this dude has been up and down the YouTube streets for how long? But I wasn't focused on him. I've come to understand that there was different points over these years where I've probably seen him in other space and didn't know who he was because we weren't concentrating on that side of the space. We weren't a part of, we weren't with the Fight Club. We were a part of Boycott Fight Club, Boycott Lapeef. Get these toxic spaces out of this place that are impacting our children and all the other things that we were dealing with as parents and trying to make awareness about. So there was some point during the summer where he popped up over Mule's platform, Mule University's platform, because there was a period of bereavement. Mule had lost her sister and her father, and we as sisters were concerned because we hadn't heard much from Mule. We were worried about her safety.
Oh, no, I was in touch with her. I spoke to her personally. She has my number and I have hers. So I was, so I know that time. That was really hard. Yeah.
During that period in time, if you remember, we were trying to support Mule University the best we could, but there was periods where we all wouldn't see and we were concerned as sisters. So when she'd pop up in these YouTube streets, we'd go over.
Right, that's absolutely, yeah. We definitely
one of the periods of time where we went to go check on Mule because we were concerned, Daryl Long popped up and asked to drop a link and was going on about some degenerate stuff in terms of content with Fatty and Sydney Star and something else, and asked all of us that were on that panel if we could review his content.
Okay.
That was, I think, the first sort of like proper sort of like, I don't know if you want to call it a proper introduction, but I wasn't there for him. I was there to be with my sisters and there to support Mule because I was concerned. So him dropping whatever link that he dropped in that period in time during that bereavement, I wasn't fully paying attention. There was something off about that dude. I took the link. There was a conversation in the back chat by some of us, and I put that link to that stream from that time in a folder under Analyze Stream. And then months later, because I was in and out during the summer, because I'm preparing for my daughter to start college, because it's summer and it's after the pandemic and everything that I'd been dealing with my health. And you were aware also of the other things that I was dealing with in regards to a survivor and a victim of GRAPE.
Yep.
And you were there for me while I was dealing with all that. And some nights talking me through what I was going through with that victim and survivor of GRAPE at night.
Yes.
Because of my emotions and being triggered and trying to be supportive as possible. So you knew part of the reasons why I was in and out of the YouTube streets. But also as women, because of the other things that we'd faced over the last how many years, you know, summer was here, let's have fun, let's go outside. So wasn't in the YouTube streets like that to see everything that was going on. There was bits that I was catching. But obviously, coming back into the YouTube streets, I'm going through folders that have stuff that I haven't completed. And that link that Long gave me is in the Analyze Stream folder.
Okay.
So trying to say about forming intel and all these kind of things, it wasn't like that. And you also are aware of that.
Well, I noticed that there were about 15 live streams that were done by you that reference Mr. Long between a period of time, also when we were together. Do you remember those live streams, Queen?
MJ, you were aware that I was over there. You were
Yeah,
aware
yeah, I
with
remember.
a number of other spaces because of coming back into the YouTube streets after Lioness has started college, and there have
I
been
remember
so
you
many
came over to
things.
support. Like you went to Sim Nation to support at one time, and then just like the other ladies, they ended up leaving. I guess what y'all started to see was becoming very uncomfortable for you in the language.
Last year, coming back into the YouTube streets, all sorts of things had gone on. I
Hmm.
decided to cloud watch a number of platforms because you and me were having conversations about a number of people in these streets.
Oh yeah, we was having panels. We was getting it in the last year. We was having panels and talking, and especially with that LeBeau situation, we definitely brought that to light. You remember that's when I had my a word with Lorraine channel, and I did
Mm-hmm.
the live stream on LeBeau, and you came up there with me, and
And we
we had to
did,
talk about it. Yeah. Hmm.
and we did many streams trying to expose that emotional dust mite for the degenerate that he was. At the same time, coming back into these YouTube streets, things were different. The atmosphere had changed. I spoke to you ladies and including you about my gut instincts about things being off in these YouTube streets with a number of content creators and the way people were responding and the way people were behaving to not only just me, but you as well and some of the other ladies, and that we were unsure of what was taking
Oh yeah,
place in these YouTube streets. So
yeah, we
I
were
said
being
to
threatened.
you and all the other ladies that I'm stepping back from a number of platforms, but I'm going to cloud watch a number of platforms.
I remember that. I remember that it was like you and Renee and a lot of ladies was like, look, certain platforms we just gonna love from afar. I do remember that. I definitely do. I definitely do. Um, I remember that I came to Mr. Long's channel in August. I was introduced to Mr. Long's channel by Mu University and Tequila. That's when I actually came to his channel and I started conversing and having debates and stuff. Um, at
What
that
month were
time,
that? Do you remember?
like when we actually started having the debates, it was like September. That's when I actually started coming on a panel because in August when I came, I used to just stay in the chat. That's when I had the yellow hat. You remember when I used to have the yellow beret? And I got that when I was in the UK with you. Um,
Vaguely, but I was under the impression that you had been there a little bit longer
mm-mm.
because I have a vague recollection of something going on with the voice of Venus and something to do with a situation that had gone on her platform with her being shouted at. So I don't know if it was you or somebody else, but I asked one of you to go and check that out and see what that was about. I can't remember if it was you or somebody else, but basically it was reported back to me that, she was cool, everything was okay, so we didn't need to get involved. If I remember correctly, because like I said, sometimes elements of my brain with time. It might have
Mm.
been you that came back to me and said, oh, I've been over by that dude's platform. I've been watching a little bit in the clouds and everything seems cool. It might not have been you, it might have been another sister because there's been other sisters that have passed through quote unquote sisterhood or, doing things over the last how many years. So I was under the impression, from my recollection, that you had been over there longer on and off.
No, I know that I went over there in August, and the reason why is because I had just recently purchased my house in June. So I
Mm-hmm.
was in the moving stage between June and August, and I actually officially moved into my house in August. So I did start to pick up coming back into looking at content creators and also you remember that stream that Yanni did, where it was a call out to Anton for what he said, that Black women are the biggest enemies to Black men.
I have a
I was
vague
there. You barely, right?
recollection.
Barely. It was a big win. It was like a big thing in the space, right?
No, I didn't remember all that with Yanni and stuff like that. I have a vague recollection because of what happened recently that that emotional degenerate popped up on the platform to talk to Yanni. But because it's been how many months and there was different things going on in these YouTube streets, I didn't remember about the conversation that Yanni had with everybody, with that emotional degenerate and a few other people, from what was going on in that kind of thing, that place.
Right.
But carry on.
Yeah. So at that time, so when I actually started really having conversations with Daryl, it was in September. And at that time, it was me and Tequila that was there, right? Because Tequila been there for far longer than I was. She was actually a longer supporter of Daryl. And from my recollection, she used to be there every morning when he started his live, right? Um, so when I started coming over there and I started having more debates in September, that's when I started coming on the panel. But to just go back to like what we was really actually I wanted to talk to you about is, have you seen any of the live streams that's been happening lately? Like, I know you say you haven't seen all of them, but have you seen some? And if you have seen some, what do you think about those live streams? What do you get from them?
You're gonna have to be more specific because basically, when this all popped off a couple of weeks ago, prior to that, I've been dealing with a health scare, which I
Mm-hmm.
thought was serious.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And then Lioness became ill. I'm dealing with a child that has an immune compromisation situation.
I
So we
do.
weren't sure if she had a virus or whether she'd, re-picked up, the C
Right,
pandemic
right.
word.
Mm-hmm.
So around that time, like I said, I was in and out because I'm dealing with a sick child. And there's just been other things that you're aware of in regards to my parents' health behind the scenes that I was also dealing with. So, in regards to, you're going to have to be specific about specific streams because there's been that much going on that, I haven't caught everything that's been going on in these YouTube streets. Like
Okay.
I just said to you, I'm up to the point and I haven't even seen all the other streams around that. I haven't even done the replay of when Taz spazzed out on the ladies. I haven't even watched that. I haven't watched the bitches nose and whatever you and Tequila and all the rest of the ladies who got up on that panel with Taz and Nyla. I haven't watched that. I've seen a couple of clips out of it
Mm-hmm.
that people have sent me. So if you're gonna have to be specific about specific streams.
Okay. So I think the first one I would like to go on is, have you seen Raw Talk Culture's first stream, the one that she did in April the 8th with Truth, Tequila, myself, Angelica, and Raw Talk, and I think Tiki was there. Did you see that stream, the first one on April the 8th?
The stream on April the 8th, if I
Mhm.
remember correctly, I saw part of it at the time. I didn't see all of it. I think days later was when I watched it, but it was like in sections
Okay. Okay.
because of the time difference. And like I said, because I've got a sick child here that had a serious temperature, although
Mm-hmm.
I care about you ladies and everything that I had going on, at the same time, I've got a human being, a child that deserved my attention. So
Oh,
because of that,
absolutely.
I wasn't able to watch the whole thing and just tiredness and other things. And then on
Right.
the same time, I'm on antibiotics, serious levels of antibiotics
Yeah, the
because of
strong
what
case.
had previously happened with me having to be rushed into hospital. And then you were
Absolutely.
also aware, MJ, that there was a
Mm-hmm.
situation going on with my pops and
Yep.
having some kind of weird seizure where he
Yep.
nearly died, and our family was worried.
I
So,
know,
like
at
I
the same
said,
time. Yeah,
all
I
this is
remember.
going on. You were trying to be supportive to me in those different elements of things. And when it came to the different streams, like I said, because of the different things that I had going on with family and my health, of which you were aware of, and all the other stuff with what I was trying to deal with, when it came to the discord and your relationships, you were very much aware that I was trying my best with different situations. So
No, I mean, like I said,
I've,
I think that you were in a pickle just as much as I was in a pickle. And I think that that was the framing of a lot of our conversations, right? Because I think our last real full conversation, well, it was me reaching out to you. It was March 29th, right? I literally just had called and I notified you that I hope that you feel well. I hope that you was doing better. And I had also notified you that I had broken up with Daryl at that time. So, because a lot of people don't know, but you know, Queen, um, I broke up with Daryl at least 3 times, right? It was Lotion Gate, because we had a group call after Lotion Gate. Then I was still in contact with you the month of March. And March 30, I think March 29th, yeah, I reached out to you and I said, hey, things seems not going to be working out with him. And I broke up with him again. And then this recent one because of the words that were said, right?
MJ, just remind me of something. Just
Yeah,
remind me of
sure.
something. Because with everything that was going on with the Discord, you checked out for a period of time. And then there was a period of time where you had the ladies worried, and it took me a number of weeks to get in contact with you. And then you kind of popped up, but you hadn't had conversations with the ladies and everybody else to let them know that you were safe because of all the things that had previously taken place to that. There's a message. Just remind me.
Mhm.
There was a message that you sent me to when I was sick and I was coming out of hospital and the doctor just gave me all the antibiotics and stuff like that.
Mhm.
There was a message that you asked me to pass on to the ladies. Do you remember what that message was in regards
Yeah.
to you being sorry and that you're
Yeah.
sorry for all the
That
I
was the
can't remember the
yeah, that
message
was the time. It was
verbatim.
no, you're absolutely right. I sent a message to you. And I
Hmm.
said, hey, I don't think, I can't really get in touch with the ladies because at that time, all y'all blocked yourself as unavailable. So I
No,
didn't know.
just remind me a hot second.
Yeah, I'm gonna remind you. I'm gonna remind you.
What,
I'm just gonna
no,
go through
no,
the
no,
whole
no, no,
thing.
no, not that part. What
We
was
no,
the
we
actual,
have to talk
for
about the
me,
whole thing, Queen.
for me, that message, what was, because it's been a long time, what was the actual message that you sent me to pass on to the ladies?
Like I said,
Do you
I passed
remember
on
what
the
it said?
ladies. I like I said, I was gonna finish. Like I said,
Do you remember what
everybody,
that message says?
I'm going to say it. You're not letting me say it.
Hold on, pause a second. I'm not trying to be rude, but there's a whole heap of, and sometimes there's an issue with my signal.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
know what I mean? In regards to, the way that signal works and stuff. Sometimes there's a time delay and then I'm back and forwards
Okay.
with so I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I just want you to remind me because it's like, verbatim and all those kind of things, and people get things confused and stuff like that. There was a message specifically that you asked me to um pass on to the ladies because like you basically sort of checked out and friendships were all over the place and you wanted a break and I was trying to be supportive and we've been through all the conflict resolution and stuff like that. Well, there was a specific message while I was ill that you asked me to pass on to the ladies. So do you remember what that message was?
Yeah.
What was the
I passed
message?
on. Hold on. I can actually look for it right now. I can actually look for it right now. Give me 1 second. So there's no words misconstrued. This is not it. Where is it at? Okay, nope, that's not it either. All right, well, I think the message was that tell the ladies that I'm sorry and that you're right and that I was going to go ahead and take a break. And I was like, can you pass that on to the ladies? That literally, like, that's literally what I actually remember from that. I probably said something more, but those are definitely what it was. Just tell the ladies that, you know, that I am sorry and that they were right.
Why did you ask me to pass on that message, MJ?
Because the ladies were not answering me or being active in the chat. And when I seen that everybody went unavailable in the chat, I didn't know whether if you were available or not. I figured that, this is interesting. Everybody is gray, unavailable. So I figured that I was being isolated. So that's why
Nobody
I
was
hit you up
isolating you,
directly.
MJ. Nobody was isolating you, MJ. People were on different breaks, doing different things. Not everybody was in Discord. There was a whole heap of members that had other things going on with their lives. So I think,
But the
like I
thing about it,
said,
but
and
the
I
thing
tried
about
to
that queen though
explain
is
to
that
you
it's just too much of a
and all the other
coincidence.
ladies that there had been
But queen, that's too much
miscommunications.
of a coincidence that everybody was gray and unavailable. Because the funny thing is, the last person that I actually tried to help in March was TMKC. You remember her? You remember the situation
MJ,
she had, right?
MJ,
So,
MJ. I'm sorry that this has come to where it's come to in regards to whatever the outcome is with you and Long, because I really wanted the best for you, sis, in whatever relationship that you chose. But over the last how many months, all I've tried to be is supportive to what you wanted, and at the same time, not have it impact Tequila and the other things that he was doing in disrespecting other Black women and other Black children.
okay.
And I know that you want to have this conversation, but my pressure has gone up and I'm stressed out. And it's nearly 6 o'clock here in the evening. So I'm going to have to leave this conversation because I don't feel like everybody is ready to have a real conversation about what it is that they stand on. And I know everybody's trying to clear up different things that are going on in these YouTube streets. But at the same time, the stress and my anxiety right now, y'all don't understand how much pain and stress all this has caused. Lioness is really upset, MJ. She's really upset.
I'm sure she is. And
She would
I
have
don't
never
want you
expected for
I
all
don't
this to
want you
happen,
to. I listen.
considering
I
all
am
the
concerned.
things
Listen,
that
listen,
we've
Queen.
been
Just one
through
second.
over the last how many
Queen,
years.
Queen, Queen, Queen. Listen for one
No, I need
second,
to say
Queen.
what's on my heart right now,
All right,
sis.
but hold on,
I
Queen. I'm just
care
trying to
about
tell
you.
you. I'm just trying to tell you. I don't want you to get upset.
No,
I don't
this has
want you to
gone
be afraid.
far
Listen,
past,
Queen, it's
far
not
past
this.
being
Queen,
upset.
it's not this type of conversation, and that's why I don't want you to feel that way. If you need to step away, go ahead. I just really just wanted to have a genuine conversation with you. If you're
I do
starting to
want to
feel
have a
any kind of
genuine.
way, then it's fine. We don't have to continue the conversation, okay? I'm not coming
Listen,
at you with any malice. I just wanted to have a conversation with you. If you don't feel comfortable anymore, we don't have to have the conversation anymore. Okay? I
listen,
appreciated you coming regardless. Okay? I just wanted to have the conversation with you.
and I want to have the conversation. But like I said, it's a certain time. I've got to go and collect Lioness.
Okay.
Like I said, I was leaving to switch off my computer when
I know.
your thing popped up.
I understand.
I don't know where things are going to go, MJ. All I've wanted is the best for you. All I know is that the sisters have wanted the best for you. Sis, I wish you, your son, your mom, and I genuinely mean that, your family, all the best. But I don't know what's going on here anymore. Do you
Okay.
get what I'm saying?
I understand.
And There's a whole heap of things that I stand on that these people out in these streets don't care about. They don't know. They don't know the nights for how many weeks when you disappeared, or us all up in Discord night after night after night, waiting for you to check in, worried that something had happened to you when you made the decision that you were going to go and do whatever it was that you were going to do. And the weeks after that, every night, sis, in Discord, okay, waiting for you to make sure you were good in the middle of your upset and everything that was going on. We always just wanted you to be safe, MJ. We always just wanted the best for you. And it's difficult, sis, because 6 to 8 months ago, you were a completely different person. You're a completely different person. This dude got into your head in a way that I've never seen any other dude do that to you. So it's a shock to my system to know that somebody like that could get under your skin and have that kind of impact. Sis, you're beautiful. You're intelligent. I don't know why you ever wanted that for yourself, but you know that I tried to help in different ways, even though that emotional dust mite was abusing you and saying all those things about you, that all we ever tried to do was aid you in doing the best for yourself.
Okay,
MJ, you are worthy of so much more. Says
queen,
you are worthy of so much more. I
queen.
just hope
I
that
don't
you
want
go
you to
to
think,
counseling and go
queen,
to therapy and work out whatever it is inside you that makes you believe that you
queen,
deserve some emotional dust mite like that over the
queen,
other
queen,
side of the
please,
space.
queen, please.
I
Okay,
have loved you for a long time, and people can take this and say, oh, this is some
queen,
Juliet and
queen.
Romeo type thing.
Don't
No, this
focus.
was based
Don't
on
focus on
true
the chat,
friendship.
queen. Don't.
I'm not look, listen, MJ, I'm not looking at them. I'm on Zoom. I can't even see what the chat is saying.
Okay, 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 okay. Well, listen, I know that this is stressful. I do want to say that I appreciate you coming, and I want you just to, just take care. I appreciate you coming. I'll say that. I definitely appreciate you coming. Um, so I'm glad that I did have the conversation with her. I'm glad I don't want her to be heightened with emotions and stuff like that because I didn't want that type of conversation. It wasn't about any malice or anything like that. I just wanted to actually speak to this woman that I've been friends with, that I was friends with for 6 years, and to understand what she knew, um, how she felt about things, and what she saw, and just get her insight. Um, I'll just say it like this. I do definitely appreciate her coming up here. And I appreciate that she does feel the way that she does feel about me. And I wish her well. I definitely do. But I also want, before I get off the live stream, I want to address the things that's been happening to me. Okay? So there has been, and this is the timeline. The timeline is that I'm dating a gentleman in October. He's controversial. And that's a part of his brand in the YouTube space. Another dear friend ended up dating another content creator. All right, thank you so much, Queen. I hope that you and Lioness have a wonderful day. And like I said, I thank you so much for coming, really, because you didn't have to come. So yes, and me and another friend ended up dating arch enemies per se. They're arch enemies in this space. This is something that we both found out about. And I'll say that we tried our best, both of us, me and this other lady, we tried our best to kind of stay out of it as much as possible. I do think that some people was actually doing a little bit more and doing a little bit too much. But the things got bigger and it branded out even more where it was no control, right? It was no control. And what I want to express is that there were certain things that was said about Mr. Long that I know for a fact that I spoke about those things in confidence with someone that I had a relationship with for almost 6 years. And I know that initially everything was in good intentions. And I think that for all the ladies, a lot of the things that they had said and expressed prior to April the 8th was all in good intentions. I don't think that anything that happened after April 8th was in good intentions. I wanted to express to everyone that I think that at the point of April the 8th, it was literally the cutoff point of those friendships that I held for 5 years. I think that their response to cutting off the friendship was very loud and clear on April the 8th and going forward. And because of those live streams and videos, I have been nothing but the spectacle or facing the brunt of all the negative things that you could possibly imagine within this space, right? I have been talked about, I have been called out my name, I have been called as being a co-conspirator of what? I don't know. I even have been addressed in the most wicked ways from women who I considered my sisters. Many things happened, right? And then all this happened my birthday week. My birthday week. And that was one of the most painful experience that I felt, because a relationship and friendships happened in all in 1 week. It was very, very, very hard for me. Very, very hard. And even then, I still tried to be calm and cool and take the level head of allowing people to express their grievances that they had about me. And then after that, other women who was not even a part of our sister circle started to participate in their set of grievances towards me, which was like a whirlwind because I didn't even know where any of that came from, right? And I was ambushed. I was ambushed. I was attacked. I was being hit from left to right. And the funny thing about this is how everybody expressed about how bad and how hurt they feeling. But when it came down to the amount of hurt and feeling that I endured, right? All I got was, well, it's your fault. You're not a victim. It's your fault. And you know what? In some things, y'all are absolutely right. In certain things, it was my fault. And I have to take my L and responsibility in that. Because I do know better. I do know better. And I also do know people's intentions better more than I led on to know. And it just felt like this is not going anywhere. It's been many times that I've said, can we just stop? It's all been around. Everything has been public. The cheating scandal, the breakup, the friendship breakup, the drag of the century. All of this has been for public consumption. And when I'm like, okay, it's out there, y'all gonna talk about it until whenever you feel like it. Can we just move it along or just let me lick my wounds in peace? Nobody decides to give me that. I have to literally now navigate the space. I can't even go anywhere, it seems, right? I can't even go or sit with anyone or be on a panel or anything with anyone anymore and not anyone try to lump me in with the individuals and his bad behavior. But let me tell you one thing about this though. The individual, he had bad behaviors, very, very bad behaviors that I never condoned. Never condoned. But I've seen a lot of bad behaviors in these spaces. And I see that people are not held accountable to the same accord as everyone else. And I have seen people make excuses. I mean, they told me that I was making excuses, right? They said I was making excuses, and me pointing out what actually happened was a form of protection. This is what I was said. It was a form of protection. I will just say it like this. I hope that I don't have to continue to deal with this type of situation. I hope that bygones can be bygones. And if the situation is that there is no friendship, then like I said, I wish all of you well. Right? I will tell you this, that all of this have been a stress on my household. I too have a son. My son was also sick too. I was also sick too while dealing with all this. I was also sick too when dealing with all this. But it is what it is. I would just say like this, if we could let bygones be bygones, that'd be fine. However, the ones who have participated in internet vigilantism, cyber harassment, cyber bullying, tech abuse, you will be addressed real soon. Real soon. Because at the end of the day, it's bigger than me. It's bigger than me. Cyberbullying, cyber harassment, internet vigilantism been going on a long, long time in this space. And maybe that is why people feel that I need to be held accountable when they can hold me accountable, because how many times is everybody going to slip by and watch that happen and like a bystander and not be held accountable? So now I won't be a bystander. I won't be a bystander. I will definitely stand the front line on this one. But I do say like this, I think that the conversation that I had with Queen was a good one. There was more questions that I would have liked to ask and to bring up, but at this time, they couldn't be answered or addressed, and that's fine. Okay, that's fine. I needed that conversation. I really did. Because just as much as she expressed how much she cared about me, I cried for weeks. I cried for weeks. My whole birthday week and 2 weeks after. And it wasn't even because of not only the bullying that I was getting from people that I don't even know, but literally the pain that I felt from the things being said to people that I said I loved you and I was there for you during your personal grievances in your life. To hear those horrible things being said and to be treated as if I was some random in the street, that really did hurt me more than people imagine. But you know what? Everything is a learned lesson. My heart was supposed to be turned cold, and that's where it's at. That's where it's going to be. But I will say to everyone, thank y'all so much for tuning in. And again, like I said, thank you for Queen for coming and having the conversation with me. I'm sorry that we couldn't really get into more conversations, but like I said, you have your family that you have to take care of. Beautiful lioness. Beautiful lioness. I used to call her Nisi Poo. But thank you so much for coming. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to living my life, right? But y'all gonna see me around because this is my new channel. And like I said, it's Conversations with MJ. And I will be having other conversations here. So when I'm ready to come out of my hiatus, please stay tuned. I hope that you like, comment, and subscribe. If you liked this conversation today, please give a thumbs up. If you didn't, give a thumbs down. It still helps the algorithm. And I want y'all to definitely enjoy the rest of your day. And I do want to appreciate the ladies who been with me during my darkest hour. And they didn't have to. Shout out to you wonderful ladies. I love you. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good evening. Take care.